recording to you from the Legion Lake Campground bathroom. It is heated in here. It is so nice. It is currently snowing out. It started snowing at about 2 o'clock this morning. Had an okay night, meaning there was some good and some bad. The good news was that I stayed pretty warm. Bad news is that I did not sleep at all. So I'm kind of riding on no sleep, and it's currently snowing now. So I'm hoping that stops here shortly. I'm really fortunate to have this bathroom to I have my tent drying in the shower, and I'm able to like sort my gear, and I even made coffee and I have oatmeal. So this is really, really a perk, taking advantage of it right now to get my stuff a little dry and get ready to get on trail. Got things packed up and I'm ready to head back out there. It is taking all my willpower to leave this nice warm bathroom. I kind of just want to live here now. Getting my first miles underway. Coming out of camp was pretty steady uphill, just trudging through the slushy snow. As I mentioned last night, I didn't sleep at all. I was actually having excruciating right toe pain, which is odd. My toes are always a little messed up and turn black, and I lose my toenails all the time. But to have it throbbing, and it felt like a hot needle was going in it, I was so confused. Finally, kind of in my, lucid haze, I remembered that I had my hot hands on my toes, and I'm wondering, my big toe is in the process of turning black, and I wonder if just like the blood and the swelling maybe in there was the problem. I did finally move it, and that seemed to help. I'm not having any problems on trail today. Half asleep, half awake. I was like, no, if it hurts like this, how am I going to hike tomorrow? And I think that added to me not being able to sleep. I still am just so thankful for that bathroom this morning. It really kind of saved my life after being up all night, to be able to sort all my stuff neatly, have coffee in there, and get out of the snow. It really is beautiful here though this morning. I keep running into these massive rocks. It's beautiful. These are so cool to roll up on. You kind of don't see them through the trees, then all of a sudden you're here. Gorgeous. I spent some time checking over my maps this morning. My original plan was to get to Calumet Trailhead and camp there tonight, which is north of Semelius Peak. If I still try to get that, I have to make up the 7 miles. It put me at probably a 26, maybe 27 mile day today. I have a camping reservation at Whispering Pines tomorrow. My original plan was to do a 17 mile day tomorrow to get into Whispering Pines. So if I course correct today, or I can add some to that 17 tomorrow, the weather's supposed to be a little bit better. See how I'm feeling, play it by ear. Forest is transitioning a little bit, which is always really cool to see. It's these really lush green vibes. In some areas, it's really almost kind of reminded me a little bit of North Shore in Minnesota. I've been following these footsteps for 2 days now, yesterday and today. John had mentioned that he dropped off a woman by the name of Claire Sunday, so the day before I got on trail. And I'm wondering if I'll eventually end up meeting up with her. Just left Custer and entering into the Black Elk Wilderness at Iron Creek, and I'm going to fill up on some water. Oh, she's cold. Oh. What the heck? Alrighty. Now that my fingers are sufficiently freezing, gloves back up and get back on trail to warm up. I just ran into a group of day hikers, and they're heading southbound. They're section hiking. They were going to end their day at Iron Creek, and they said, well, there's one ahead of you. And I said, is her name Claire by chance? And they said, yep, she's about 45 minutes in front of you. So we'll see if we can catch Claire. Here is the spur trail to Mount Rushmore. I believe it's maybe a little less than a mile down that way. My original plan was to go there. It would have been this morning. I was gonna go in there, charge anything if I needed to, grab maybe a hot cup of coffee. But with my lower mileage yesterday, making up for it today and tomorrow, I don't really need to see Mount Rushmore, so it was kind of an easy decision to lop that off. I'm just gonna have to resist the urge to scale old GW's face, get to the other side to search for Cibola. Anyone who knows me well knows that the National Treasure movies are my comfort movie. I will watch them anytime, anywhere. Absolutely love them. Sitting down to have a little lunch at the Horse Thief Lake Trailhead. There's a ton of poison ivy. So I found a little rock to sit on here. The sun keeps peeking out just a little bit. I'm keeping my rain gear on for my pants just because the amount of poison ivy that I'm going through, it's a lot. And every time I take off my rain jacket, I get cold and then put it back on, and I keep kind of dancing around, and I knew sitting down here that I would need it. So just gonna have a little lunch, some trail mix, take a look at my map to make a plan for the rest of the day. I'm either gonna have to do a heavy water carry to do 25, 26 miles today. My ankle's giving me a little bit of trouble. Yesterday, when I was routing around the bison, there was a big hill with a bunch of trees down on it, and I was kind of going across those trees, but underneath the trees is kind of like hollow, soft ground, and it was just really hard to, get your footing, and my foot kind of pivoted a little weird, so now my ankle is kind of hurting, so I've been slowing down a little bit, and that has seemed to be helping. Side note on trail mix, so I'm pretty particular about it. I make my own blend, and I like to do unsalted cashews, M&Ms, salted or lightly salted pistachios, and raisins. And then I take the raisins and I put a little bit of salt on the raisins. It seems to be the perfect balance of trail mix. Salty and sweet. I just stopped at Pine Creek. I filled up here instead of Horse Thief Lake or Horse Thief Creek. This looked a little bit of a bigger water source, and I'm glad I waited. It was only a mile down the way. So filled up here. I have one more chance to get water in 2 miles to fill up to do a carry to get me through the rest of the day tonight. And then I have to double check the miles for tomorrow. But I mean, I have this, I have my liter, and then I have another liter. So I could fill those up, but I'm gonna have to kind of see exactly what I'll need and how many miles I'll have to do tomorrow. I don't wanna carry that water. We're not gonna summit Semelius Peak, but I don't know if it navigates around it or if it goes over some elevations. So, I mean, I have to carry what I have to carry. I'll just have to do the math when I get there. I just entered the Black Hills National Forest and I encountered someone. First thing he said to me was, "Find another trail." He said, they're doing construction down here and it's a muddy mess. And I said, "But sir, I'm through hiking the trail. I have to get through somehow." So let's see what this is all about. Would you look at that? I found an elusive bobcat. Muddy, sure, but not really any sort of problem. Just did my water fill up at Battle Creek, which is going to be the last reliable water source before I camp tonight. I filled up my 700, my liter, and I left some in the filter. So that's going to have to get me through tonight and then to Sheridan Lake tomorrow. So depending where I camp tonight, it'd be maybe 4-ish miles to Sheridan tomorrow. I'm going to try to make it between mile 45 and 47 tonight. I'm just going to kind of see between there where good camp spots are. Kind of funny, I was coming down the trail down this way, and this is where it always happens to me, is you're coming down a road in the trail and you just kind of keep going and assume that it keeps going. What's so funny is this is pretty muddy here, and I've been following Claire's footsteps all day long, and I got about right there and I noticed there was no footsteps. So I immediately pulled up the Avenza, and the trail goes right here. There's no sign, no marking or anything. So Claire helped me out huge on that. I should know by now, but those service roads, they get me almost every time. You just kind of get lost in your thoughts and you're heading down trail and you're on it, and you just, I have a hat too, so I can't see up, and I just really got to get a little more careful checking the Avenza. This morning when I was going through Custer almost to the Black Elk Wilderness, I was on one of those kind of roads and I ran into a gate that didn't open and it was all padlocked. So I was like, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. Luckily the trail was like 20 feet back, but had that been open, I would have just kept on going. I'm back to seeing Claire's footprints here. I found Claire. She's having lunch sitting under a tree. So we got to chat for a little bit. She's gonna be camping, trying to make it to about where I am. I'm probably gonna stop a little short. She's gonna try to make it to Sheridan Lake area for water tonight. Sounds nice not to carry all this water, but I don't think I could push that far today. She is also resupplying at Whispering Pines Campground. A couple more opportunities to run into her on the trail. There goes the deer. I think he just caught wind of me. Oh, so pretty. This is Semelius Peak. Can't really see it. I should back up. It is the highest point on the trail. The trail technically does not go over it to the summit, but I think it kind of navigates around it. Oh. I've just been climbing and climbing, and every time I turn around there's another hill, and they're just not stopping. So I should have maybe evaluated carrying less water and going further to get to the lake. Having this at the end of a 20+ mile day on no sleep is brutal. All that climbing does provide a beautiful view though. Incredible. Got to camp and got my tent set up. Made it 25.5 miles today. I'm just about a half mile shy of mile marker 47. That's going to put me at doing around 21-22 miles to get to Whispering Pines tomorrow, which is my, I have a camping reservation there as well as my resupply is there. I'm hard pressed to get out of this tent anymore tonight after not sleeping last night. Hiker Midnight's coming quick. I don't even feel like making food. I just want to sit and relax. I feel like I didn't get a lot of good video today. With the colder temps this morning, it was so hard to keep taking my gloves off and trying to shoot video. So I had such visions for how I wanted these to go, and then you get here and just kind of the elements and things of how it ends up happening. By the time it was later in the day and it actually started getting nicer out, after mile 20 and then all the hills and the heavy water carry, I just got worked after that. I wanted to even continue going to lower elevation, but I was just done. Right now, I'm just gonna relax, take it easy, try to get some sleep tonight so I can hit the trail tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3.